Fewer runs in the National League than has Houston so far. It's a cool night. Breeze blowing in. Should be a good night for the pitchers if they can get loose and stay that way. And John Lannon, and there's a bunt for a base hit to start the game. Kaz Matsui taking advantage of some wet conditions. Whether it's an infielder or especially an outfielder, every ball picked up will be very moist tonight.
Well, this is heads up play right here. Kaz Matsui, he's not a big power guy, but he's got a lot of speed. Right there, the ball dies in the wetness of the grass, and even our own Ryan Zimmerman can't pick this up and barehand it and throw out a fast guy like Kaz Matsui. We'll give him that one right now.
That'll bring up Michael Bourne, the former Philly.
Another fast guy.
Yes, he is. And they're going up attacking the ball early against John Lannon. He's hitting .301. It is 55 degrees. Obviously overcast, showers all day, but they're holding off enough to at least enable us to get this game underway. Looking at the light standards, we can see some mist blowing by. Michael Bourne has a 3-game hitting streak. If that doesn't impress you, how about 7 hits in his last 14 at bats, and he leads Houston with 8 stolen bases.
He was part of that Brad Lidge trade too. It brought he and some other prospects over here, sent Brad Lidge over to the Phillies, who helped the Phillies win a championship. But he is a up and coming star in center field around the National League. Speed helps though. When you're fast, you can make up for some mistakes.
And he's a popular player. He's out of Nimitz High School right in Houston and played for the Cougars at the University of Houston. No balls and 2 strikes. And John misses away. National start tonight, 6-17, 4-7 here at home. 20-year veteran Mike Winters has the plate. Lance Barksdale, Brian Knight, and crew chief Randy Marsh on the bases. Runner holding. John Lannon jamming the left-handed batter. So what's been the problem against lefties, Rob? I know we saw that hanging breaking ball John threw to Chase Utley last week, but has there been something besides that?
No, he doesn't have a big sweeper. And if lefties can keep that front shoulder in on a left-handed pitcher, and he throws a lot of fastballs away, and even when he throws the one inside, they're going to pull that. He needs a little bit more of either a cut fastball or some kind of big sweeper that throws them off balance, gets their butt going into our dugout from the left side and gets them to bail on a pitch. He needs them to be kept in check or back on their heels with something.
Oh, they got him picked off. Nick Johnson to Guzman, and the throw hits the runner. Ouch. Now on that play, Nick is supposed to step out of the baseline. Guzman is supposed to set up inside the bag at second so that this does not happen. Right on the helmet. Kaz Matsui. We'll see how they rule this. I mean, you would think it would be a throwing error on Nick, but the runner never stopped. And oftentimes a catcher will make a bad throw and they'll give the guy a stolen base. It is a caught stealing, but E3 enables Kaz Matsui to go to second base. Nick Johnson's 3rd error of the year.
That's a strange play. Caught stealing with an error on the throw.
Yeah, I've heard that called before.
And I
would think it would have to be one or the other. But
I said that John Lannon, I know he's 0-3 this year. He's 2-0 against the Astros, but that's at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, how about
Houston,
that?
So I apologize for that error.
And I would venture
Nick and
to say
both get an error in the first inning.
He might be the only pitcher on our staff who's ever won any games at Minute Maid Park.
It's not easy. That's a nice hitter's park. Ball flies out of there, especially a left-hander to right-handers. Ball jumps out to left field. I think we go in there for 4 later on, don't we?
Right before the All-Star break. I know Houston is our last stop. And that is a 4-game series right after Colorado.
I'm sure our pitchers can't wait. Especially Scott and John.
John's ERA at home, very, very impressive. Two balls and 2 strikes. Long at bat now by Bourne, and a big breaking ball that he just got a piece of.
Yeah, his ERA here this year in 2 starts is 0.68. This is the last pitch right here, and you see him going away with the big breaking ball. He needs to throw more of those and then bust them in with something hard so that you get them going towards first base, and then you throw it towards the third base side, and then you get them to kind of miss it with just their hands and their arms.
He got a lot of the plate with that one, and that ball is jacked to center. Elijah Dukes goes back and makes the catch about 385 feet away. Matsui over to third base with 1 out. The important thing for John Lannon was he got an out. And we'll check the rest of the Nats defense. Dunn and Kearns flanking Dukes. Guzman, Hernandez up the middle. The Nationals have been catching the ball and fielding better over the last week or so. Jesus Flores behind the plate. And Lance Berkman, a Nats killer, has an RBI chance here with 1 out. I thought this guy could hit 184 without even showing up to the ballpark.
Does have
he's at
power.
214.
Yeah. Decent power numbers, though, even though he's low on the average. 6 homers, 14 ribbies. So be careful. He can still take you deep.
He's really one of the best hitters of our era.
Yes.
Lance Berkman now in his 10th year. A career batting average of 302 coming in. He'll go over 300 home runs, and he will surpass 1,000 RBIs this year.
Like Chipper Jones, he's one of the best switch hitting hitters in the major leagues today.
Yeah. 2-0 pitch. That ball hit well to center. Dukes gets caught, and it just flies over his head. Astros lead 1-0 as Elijah totally misjudged that ball. And the Nats have made 2 defensive mistakes. The Nats could be in the dugout right now if Nick Johnson doesn't hit the runner with a throw and Elijah Dukes goes back on this ball.
Well, that just shows you the great power right there. There's the sound off the bat. It's a little misty out there, hard to see. Especially it's hazy, misty, and Lance Berkman has a ton of pop in his bat, and it just goes over Elijah's head.
I don't know what it is about Washington, D.C. and that guy. He just wears the Nats out. He hit an upper deck home run 2 years ago at RFK Stadium, Rob, to straightaway center field.
That's never been here, but I would assume that's a bomb.
That's up where Frank Howard used to hit him. He's only hitting 359
against the Nationals here. Or is that total?
Now that's got to be an out. Zimmerman waiting with the ball as Berkman is gunned down by Jesus Flores for the second out. Trying to catch the Nationals by surprise.
Well, like Albert Pujols, he's a very well-rounded player, and right here you see him take off. He may have noticed something that John Lannon wasn't looking back, or he was doing the same routine, but he's dead to rights at third base.
2 outs, base is empty. Carlos Lee. And he'll take one in there.
We'll always take it when somebody throws us a bone.
That's the third runner caught stealing by Jesus Flores this year. Carlos Lee's a .290 career hitter in 10 major league seasons. Out to short for Christian Guzman. So John Lannon will pitch around some trouble in the first and give up 1 run. Could have been worse. And here come the hard-hitting Nats. On hand with us tonight. The Nationals are hitting .266, fifth in the National League. Ryan Zimmerman is right up there with the power hitting third baseman in the league. His hitting streak is at 21 games. Here's another interesting stat on Ryan. His 14 extra base hits have him in the top 3 in the league, trailing only Mike Cameron and Raul Ibanez. He has as many extra base hits as Albert Pujols does. All right, Rob Dibble, he's just off the DL. What's going on with Brian Moeller, who has had 2 nightmare starts for the Houston Astros? He's only pitched 4 innings total.
Well, they say it was his knee, that he sprained his knee in a start back in Pittsburgh, and they put him on the disabled list in mid-April. But I'm thinking it was more like the mental disabled list because his stuff just wasn't working. And then when they sent him down to the minor leagues, his last rehab start, 11 hits in 5 innings pitched.
Houston Guzman's been hitting a lot of ground balls right at infielders. He's now 2 for his last 19 as Kaz Matsui throws him out.
All right, let's go over the PNC scouting report. He's got a fastball cutter change. They're all about average. He's a carpenter. 10 years ago, he was caught with sandpaper on his thumb, and he has never pitched at Nationals Park. So if the ball starts moving erratically, don't be surprised if the Nationals grab a few of them and check them out for a little bit of doctoring by Brian Moeller. Or should I say he's crafty?
Oh, we have carpenters all over the place. Chris just left town, and another one's evidently flown in. Here's Nick Johnson. I've never heard a guy with sandpaper called a carpenter on the baseball diamond before. That's good.
I had to come up with something snappy.
I got a bunch of colored pens. None of them are made of wood, so. Hey, by the way,
I haven't caught you with sandpaper yet, though.
Not yet. Not yet. I haven't scuffed my scorebook once this year. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nick, who's hitting .371 against right-handed pitching. They've taken the error off the board on Nick Johnson. Then they announced the run was unearned. So we have no idea how that could happen. We'll have to wait and get an explanation. I'm looking at a box score online that is not listing an error. Nick can't catch up with a high one, and the count's 2-2.
Being one of the best play-by-play investigative people in the business, though, Bob, I know you'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, if somebody in the truck tells me what's going on, I'll figure it out. Nick's at .341 overall, 7th best in the league. On base average of .415. Moeller nibbles at the outside corner, and the count goes full. Nick Johnson is kind of like John Lennon. He likes being home. He's hitting .405 in this ballpark. And he's had a lot of that success by taking those kind of pitches to left field.
I was going to say, though, in the scan report, too, beware of Moeller. He's got a 27 earned run average coming into tonight in his first 2 starts. And you know how we do against those pitchers with high ERAs.
Yeah.
They become Cy Moeller.
Ooh, Nick had a home run cut right there. All right, now there's an error on the scoreboard again.
But we both kind of agree that play, this is the swing on this last pitch, staying alive.
Three and 2 to Nick again. He'll take a changeup and take the walk. Nick Johnson walking for the 11th time this year, and that adds to that .415 on base percentage. Astros are the 2nd best defensive team in the league so far. They've only made 8 errors, 3 of them from Miguel Tejada at short. The Phillies, the only team with fewer. Philadelphia has played 22 games, and they've made 4 errors. The Phillies are in St. Louis tonight. Ryan Zimmerman steps in, hitting .306. He's had some great first and second at bats in games recently. I don't remember any suspense at all, Rob, lately about his hitting streak. He seems to end all doubt early in the game whether or not he's going to add another game.
We could really use him to go opposite field right here and get a double and tie this game up.
Fastball 88 right in there. Moeller career is 75 and 93. Long time with the Tigers, Cincinnati, and he's been an Astros since 2003 with a 2-year stop in Florida mixed in. Zimmerman had a big time rip in the counts 1-2. He's from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro.
Hey, Bob, this is the first pitch in the at-bat to Zimmerman. Check out how his catcher gets crossed up because his ball moves so much. You see Toles turn the glove in instead of turning it over. Moeller's got a lot of pitches that move. Could be a fun night for Toles back there.
1-2 to Zimmerman. Yeah, Pudge Rodriguez was in the lineup up until about 45 minutes before game time, and then the Astros made a change. Not sure if that has anything to do with the fact that Roy Oswalt is pitching tomorrow. Houston was going to play Pudge in one of these games, and there's a future Hall of Fame catcher right there. He's had an amazing 18-year career. Zimmerman up the middle, and that's a base hit. 22 games in a row, and again the suspense ends early for Ryan Zimmerman and his streak. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, they gave an error.
They didn't.
No, I'm kidding. Well, it's a cutter right there, and Ryan smacks it really hard on the ground, and especially against the wetness of the grass and the movement of the pitch going away from him. He pulls it up the middle, and Miguel Tejada cannot make the play, and he laughs about it. He can't believe it. 22-game hitting streak.
Don't even mention that streak to him.
I had that back in high school.
Here's Adam Dunn.
What's the record for the organization, even with the Expos? I think it's 31 with Vlad Guerrero, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sound about right? I'll check on that,
but we know it's a Nationals record, breaking his own. Adam Dunn didn't have a great series against the Cardinals until his last official at bat, when he hit the 3-run homer on Saturday to get the Nats up big. They won that game 6-1 behind the brilliance of Chiron Martis, and we'll get a look at his 7th of the year.
He didn't get cheated. Neither do the fans in the second level.
I would think that'll be a popular seating destination this year. Dunn a little late identifying that one, and the count goes to 2-1.
The pitch track on this Moeller pitch, kind of a little bit of a sinker, maybe a screwball.
2-1. Mets are underway at Atlanta tonight. That'll be a real interesting series to keep an eye on. Houston just played Atlanta. They are scoreless early.
I'm sure you heard Oliver Perez was moved to the bullpen today.
$12 million a year for a reliever, huh?
Yeah. A discount on lefty setup guys.
Wow. Marlins are home with the Reds. And as mentioned, the other team in the East, the Phillies, are out in St. Louis tonight. The Phillies are only a game and a half behind Florida. The Marlins have lost 3 in a row again. They've gotten very streaky. Elijah Dukes waiting next. Astros got a run in the top of the first on a double by Berkman that sailed over Elijah to the wall in left center. Dunn could make up for that right here. A little bit outside. And when you've already thrown 21 pitches to the first 4 hitters, you're not going to get that call.
Just sinking fastball, down and away. He has to have pinpoint control and command, or he will get hit hard.
You got to like this situation. 2 on, 1 out. He doesn't want to walk him. What kind of pitch will Adam Dunn get? It's a fastball that tails away and strikes him out. I think Adam Dunn has struck out as much in the last 4 games as he had maybe in the first 20 games.
Well, this is a hard 2-seam sinker. Look at that beautiful rotation by the camera crew. This is our Exmo. Pull it down. He almost turns it over a little bit extra. The But that ball is going to have a downward tail to it, in on a righty, away from a lefty. It's a beautiful thing when you can throw it right.
And here's Elijah Dukes, who's 6 for his last 31. First pitch, hard breaking ball there. Maybe a cutter.
I think that's a cutter. 86.
Probably, yeah. That's too hard to be a breaking pitch from him. His fastball tops out about 88.
Oop, he's coming up. Nice job, guys, checking out the camera. I mean, the catcher.
How'd you know that pitch was going to be up?
Tolles. Tolles was, he'd give him the signals, and then he'd give him the old up and in.
Even with a runner at second base looking straight in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're crafty out there.
Now Duke steps out, and they'll have to run through a sequence again.
I don't know if Nick can see the signs all the way from second on that up and in. Might be able to tell the fingers.
Off speed pitch, just missing, 2-1.
It's that last pitch on the pitch tracks. It's a two-seamer that breaks back over the plate.
It's a pretty good pitch.
It's a very good pitch. A little low. But he's got to stay away from our power guys. He's not going to do well if he's in that zone with the power we have.
And then that ball off the plate called strike 2.
Boy, he's like Jack Frost. He's like nipping at the corners.
Well, Mike Winters is the umpire.
Wow. See, I did not know that. This is a check swing right here as the ball is on the outer half.
Yeah, that was a called strike, not a swing. Elijah has to protect now, 2-2, and the strike zone appears to be wide to the outside right now.
A little bit of a cutter that he started in the middle of the plate. Everything he's throwing.
He must have some pretty good action, because J.R. Tolles was late on that reaction too.
I'm telling you, when your catcher's having trouble catching it, your ball's moving a lot.
Runners will be moving here.
Check for the old sandpaper. Okay.
Kearns is next. Third full count in the first inning by Brian Moeller.
He's going fastball away. It's his third sign that he's given.
And Dukes takes it right down the middle. Not very good situational hitting by the Nats in the bottom of the first, stranding 2.
Shine. It's always fun to take in a ball game, but there is some bad weather in the forecast. I highly recommend you visit the team store and buy one of these authentic jackets. They will definitely or shine. It's always fun to take in a ball game, but there is some bad weather in the forecast. I highly recommend you visit the team store and buy one of these authentic jackets. They will definitely keep you dry and warm. Rob, Bob, back up to you.
Very important on a night like this. We do allow umbrellas in our ballpark. The Florida Marlins don't in rainy South Florida. And we go to the top of the second. Miguel Tejada. He's in his 13th year now, and he had 283 in his first year as an Astro last year. Drove in 66. Power numbers were down considerably 13 homers in 158 games, but he did have 38 doubles and 3 triples. Guzman to his left picks it up right near his feet and makes a fine play to start the top of the second. Get your red on and come and join us tomorrow. It's a day game, T-shirt Tuesday. Astros here again at 12:35. First 10,000 fans receive a free Teddy Cinco de Mayo T-shirt. 888-632-NETS, Nationals.com, or just come on down to the ballpark tomorrow. We'll have room for you. Stop by the box office, and hopefully on a better weather day we'll enjoy some afternoon baseball. Hunter Pence is 5 for his last 9. This is a throwback young player if I've ever seen one. 25 years of age now, a Texas kid.
He's all out all the time.
He really is. He plays hard, plays fast.
Even wears the uni like an old school guy.
He hit .322 as a rookie back in 07 in 108 games. Didn't play the whole season. It took him a while to get called up. And then he's one of those kids who will probably never go back. He was hitting .342 at the All-Star break that year. And he was the first rookie to do that since they started keeping track of rookie statistics back in 1957. Inside 2-1. Then last year he followed up at .269, but his power numbers were good at 25 homers, 83 batted in.
I like that they started doing stats at the start of your career. It's pretty cool.
Now, I was only 4 years old in 1957. I know you weren't born yet.
I wasn't even a thought on my mother's mind.
Little did they know what was coming. 3 balls in, a strike to Pence, hitting .310.
My mother's a saint. She had 6 10-pound dibble babies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then we put her through heck. But she's still kicking. She's still tough as nails.
So we've been in progress for about 25 minutes or so here at chilly and wet Nationals Park. Astros lead 1-0 after a bunt hit by Matsui. Then he was hit in the head by a throw from Nick Johnson after getting picked off. Scored on a double by Berkman that sailed to the wall in center field. And there's a fastball to Jeff Keppinger, a former Cincinnati Red who's now with Houston.
I was just told by our crack staff that it was 31 game hitting streak by Vlad the Impaler Guerrero back in 1999 in Montreal. 31, like Landon's number.
John Lannon, 14 pitches in the first inning, 9 of them strikes. Threw a couple of first pitch strikes. And a 1-1. John's missing upstairs, and that's not like him. And that's one of the reasons for the visit by Jesus Flores.
Well, usually when a guy's missing up high, he's not finishing off the pitches. He's not following through. And John is a fingertip type guy that gets way out over the front of that right leg when he lands and follows through quite nicely.
That ball is hooked and foul. All right, Rob, now let me ask you, a night like this tonight, with the conditions, what special challenges face a pitcher like this?
Well, I don't know if there's special challenges. I guess getting the right feel for the ball, for me, I would like it because it would add to the grip of the ball. Be a little bit stickier, but you don't want it too wet because then it may get slick and slippery and you might leave one in this hitting zone too long and the guy will crush it.
Off-speed breaking ball low and inside.
But that was a nice job right there. But you see John Lannon, he's just so beautiful the way he gets out front for young kids at home and pulls the ball down and follows through very nicely.
Three-two. Runner is going. Well hit to short. Still could be 2. Hernandez turns it beautifully after Guzman got it to him quickly with Hunter Pence bearing down on him. Nats turn their 21st of the year. Austin Kearns is hitting .250, but how about the on-base average of .408? He's been slugging and getting on base this year. For the Nationals. I don't think the final score of this game is going to be 1-0. I think we'll see some interesting things in this contest before this night gets very much longer. Austin Kearns hitting at .250. He's 10 for his last 32. 8 RBIs his last 11 games. So he's come alive. And he's been on base in all 15 of the games he has started this year. This is the Austin Kearns we saw 2 years ago when he hit .266 for the Nats. And there he goes again. Watch your lips. Second base hit for Washington. Kearns' best season when he played a good number of games was 0-2 with the Reds his rookie year. He hit .315 in 107 games and hit 13 home runs. And Rob, ever since then, people expected really big things from him, but he's had a bunch of injury issues that have gotten in the way.
Yeah, it's really kind of slowed his evolution into one of the better players in the league. But if he continues to hit like that, get that average up there, and then work on the power numbers a little later. Took that cut fastball right back up the middle. Can't do too much with Moeller right now until you try to figure him out, because everything he's throwing's got a little movement to it.
Still the time of the year when a base hit makes a big difference. Kearns goes up to .263 from .250 with that hit. Jesus Flores sitting there right under .300.
I was joking with him the other night at that gala about the beating he took when Daniel Cabrera was out there. He said, oh, that's just what I have to do.
Yeah. That sounds like Jesus.
He's a good kid.
He had a good series. He was 4 for 8 with an RBI against St. Louis. Wilmy Avis gave him 1 game off, but he hit well in the other 2. Good breaking ball. Had the hitter taking one hand off the bat, and the count goes to 1-2. Anderson Hernandez very close to being what we would call on fire. He's batting nearly .500 his last 6 games. A lot of hitting room right side, but Jesus has to protect here, and they get him on the inside corner. So Mike Winters has a very wide strike zone tonight, inside and out. That was very well done by Hernandez.
Well, that's just a very athletic play. You can't teach that no matter how much you work on it. Right there, that's an instinctive reaction right there by Ryan Zimmerman. Double play.
Mm-hmm.
That was that saved us from a big inning.
Yeah, that was in the 8th inning.
Yep.
And the play that Hernandez made was on the game's first hitter, Schumacher, who hit the ball sharply up the middle. So here's Anderson Hernandez hitting a healthy .298. His on-base average, and this is important in the National League, is .385. That's a pitch he cannot swing at.
Well, I think he's been watching how much movement that Brian Moeller has had on a lot of his pitches in the first inning and 2/3 here, inning and a third, where he just has that running fastball away from lefties, in on righties, and he's just been throwing it at will, striking a lot of people out. So I think he doesn't want to get behind.
But he is now 0-2, and there's a fastball that he has shown way upstairs. John Lannon next. Barring a double play, the Nationals will at least get their pitcher up here in the bottom of the second. He takes it up the middle for a base hit. Moeller had him 0-2, threw him a breaking ball. And I know that you think a lot of pitchers do number 8 hitters and pitchers a big favor when they throw him something off speed.
Well, I do. I mean, he threw a bad cutter up high and he got him to chase it, and there he just throws, and it looks like a screwball. That ball is breaking the other way. And just a fabulous job right there by Anderson Hernandez, seeing the movement of the ball, and he stays on it and just hits it up the middle. Not much else he could have done with that ball. So now we have first and second. Like you said, he didn't look too good the first few hacks.
He's now hitting .310. John Lannon, couple of sacrifice bunts this year, pulls the bat back, ball 1.
Well, right here too, John wants to make sure, throw him a strike. I mean, everything he's throwing has a lot of movement. Maybe he'll make a mistake right here. I don't know. Does Manny ever go to a slug bunt? I haven't seen it so far this year.
The Nets have done that.
Okay.
Haven't seen it this year, though. We saw it from Guzman.
Well, and Scott Olsen can handle the bat a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's when and right now Miguel Tejada is standing on second base, and that's when it's used best. The third baseman will come in, and the shortstop goes to second. There's a huge hole there. You just try to slap it through there with a half bunt, half swing. It's called a slug bunt.
Lannon fouls it back again. So your point is that Tejada might be vacating his position too early.
Yes, expecting that when you have Keppinger coming in, they might be able to get a double play here, but if you could try to slug bunt it through the hole there, it could really give us a run, and first and second or first and third with an out.
All right, John still going to bunt here with 2 strikes. And that's not a good at bat. 4 strikeouts for Brian Moeller of the 5 batters he's retired. And a good chance for Christian Guzman to get the Nats back even here. Guzman, though, is 2 for 19 since coming off the DL.
Well, what happens when you do go on the DL, you kind of lose your edge and your timing, and that's what he's trying to get back right now. That timing of live pitching is not easy to get back once you've been out for a couple of weeks.
His first game back was last Wednesday in Philadelphia. He hits that ball right off the end of the bat. It'll hang up for Hunter Pence. So the Nationals have already stranded 4 runners on base. The Astros lead 1-0 after 2.
executive job includes overseeing special operations, which also includes details here at the ballpark. Have you ever done VIP detail?
This is my first time, and it's a real thrill. I know, you love being here as a kid, growing up with baseball, and now it's great to have my own son and all my kids with me tonight, so it's great.
What is your favorite moment here at Nationals Park?
Just actually sitting here with my family, enjoying a day, watching my favorite players out there. Ryan Zimmerman hit his 22nd in a row tonight, so we're loving life.
All right, you're bringing him good luck. Come back again. Bob, back over to you.
Thanks.
Well, he could help protect Rob Dibble. That would be a nice detail.
I was thinking they could lock Debbie up for a day or two and show the other side that I've seen before. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, kids.
Top of the third inning, Tolles, Moeller, and Matsui. And that's low and away ball two. J.R. Tolles, recently considered the best prospect in the Houston organization. He's a 25-year-old catcher from Crosby, Texas. They took him in the 20th round back in '04, and that's quite a compliment to him. Drafted low and considered so highly. But John Lannon goes 3-0. You cannot do this on the number 8 hitter. At least you can't put him on. And John throws a fastball right in there. He gets him to fly to center. Elijah Dukes drifting back for it, using the big part of the ballpark for the first out. The Family Fun Pack is back right here in Natstown. All Sunday games, you can purchase a $14 upper right field terrace ticket or go lower on the left or right field side for $25. And you get a hot dog, non-alcoholic drink, and chips. 2 tickets per purchase, a minimum 2 tickets per purchase. Bring the family out early. Pre-game autographs. Kids run the bases on Sunday, except when it's like it was yesterday. 888-632-NATS or visit nationals.com. Brian Moeller is an .046 career hitter. 0 for 1 this year. A lot of souvenirs on a night like this. Zimmerman just picked up the ball and underhanded it right into the seats. Pretty much anything that gets ground will be thrown out. And a lot of smiles.
That gentleman was very nice, and he's got an Astros hat on. He gave it to a kid.
He's got the old orange Houston Astros cap on when they used to wear the rainbow uniforms. I think Ray Knight used to look really good in some of those double knits. 2 outs. Bases empty, 2 outs, and here's Kaz Matsui. There's the old Astro rainbow uniform.
Well, I have Nolan Ryan's 1981 uniform that he wore. I got that at a charity auction.
Yeah, there's another variation of it.
Nope.
I think that was the road uniform, a little gray and then the rainbow on the sleeves. And of course, they started out as the Houston Colt 45s.
I used to carry a Nolan Ryan baseball card with me in the minor leagues for luck.
Nice.
He was my idol. And I told him this at dinner last year, actually at the winter meetings, in front of his family and stuff. And I'd already told him, but his wife was like, "Him? You carried his card?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God." But
a lot of kids carried that.
Yeah, I still have it. It's a little bit weathered and beaten up. I actually got to hit off Nolan Ryan in a major league game.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. He was like 42 and still throwing 98.
You would have had a better chance charging the mound than Robin Ventura did.
I'm friends with Robin.
That was the mismatch of the century.
He will never talk about that. He's embarrassed. Guy twice his age just giving him noogies. But little did he know, though, on Nolan Ryan's ranch, I mean, he'd be wrestling cattle and herding cattle and stuff. Exactly. And he punched that doggy. This is John Lannon's last pitch right here. 3-0. A little bit low.
And it'll be Michael Bourne. Get the ball out to Elijah Dukes first time. Matsui is a running threat. He has stolen 4 bases in 6 attempts this year.
So did he get a stolen base for that pickoff?
No, it was considered a caught stealing.
Okay.
And an error.
So they took the error down, then put it back up.
I guess. Which makes sense now.
84%, pretty good.
That's a Tim Raines type percentage. He played for the Cebu Lions 9 years, hit .309, 7 All-Star games, 4 Gold Gloves over there. And at the time he was signed by the Mets prior to the 04 season, he was the first Japanese infielder to come to the major leagues. He's had some injury issues over here a couple of times on the DL with a lower back problem. Bruised up his knee. He's been with the Mets, the Rockies, and now Houston the last 2 seasons. Gets under that one and hits it out to Dukes in center. 3 fly balls to center field retired the Astros, and that means Berkman will not bat this inning. But Nick Johnson will when we come back. Nick's on base again tonight one time. Zimmerman and Dunn to follow. For his first win, Chiron Martis is 3-0, coming off the best game of his major league career right here on Saturday afternoon. And even with Albert Pujols out of the lineup, Rob, that was a pretty good hitting St. Louis team. Yeah, a very good hitting St. Louis team. They're right up there in the top 6 1-2-3 innings. He was very economical with that complete game. The first one at Nationals Park by a Nationals pitcher. A 5-hitter, 6 strikeouts, no walks, 110 quality pitches, 79 of them strikes. Only his 9th major league start. He's 22 years young, just like Jordan Zimmerman. So our 2 22-year-olds have 5 of the 6 national wins so far. A lot of people thought that our young guys would have trouble pitching. And it's the old guys that need to pick up the slack. Yeah. Nick Johnson walked first time up. He's now sporting an on-base average of around 425. But Moeller has him 0-2. There you go. They're just babies. The rest of the starters 1-8 with a 5 ERA. 2 22-year-olds with 12 starts between them are 5-1. Nick Johnson got jammed and flighted to right center. Hunter Pence was dancing out there. Had trouble. Look at the smile on his face. Had trouble picking the ball up. It is hazy and a dark gray right now when you look up in the sky, and I don't think Hunter ever saw the ball. And here's Ryan Zimmerman. So the Nationals have gone to Curacao and Wisconsin for their 2 top starters right now. It's okay. Will they be going to San Diego State for their next?
Well, if you go to Masson.com, you can read my blog about the two youngsters.
I read it today.
There you go.
The kids are all right, huh?
Yeah, the kids are all right. And a lot of people were hyping up Phil Hughes and Ian Kennedy from the Yankees last year. Well, they proceeded to go 0-8 in 17 starts and get sent back to the minor leagues. Although Phil Hughes is pitching tonight against the Red Sox if they play. He's 1-0 since coming back. But they rushed them to the major leagues. I don't think they were ready. And I talked about that. I'd rather have our two young kids.
Ryan Zimmerman is 2 for 2. But that doesn't extend the hitting streak. He already did that. 32 hits in 100 at bats. And even I know that's a .320 batting average.
You see the head down, driving through a pitch that's breaking down. And he sneaks it through the hole there, right past Miguel Tejada. That maybe a few years ago his legs might have caught up to.
I'm telling you, Rob, we are in for something special this year with Zimmerman because he has never started a season like this. He's always been slow. I think the fact that we've had some rain, but we haven't had the bitter cold days in April that we had in the last couple of years. And I think Ryan has just kind of gotten warm and stayed warm with the weather. I mean, tonight's no picnic, 55 degrees, but it's not 35 or 40. And we had some of those.
Well,
but he's never started a season like this.
He's loving hitting between Nick Johnson and Adam Dunn. He's seeing a lot better pitches to swing at. He's being more patient, a great approach, and he's so far been very good.
Well, he deserves this because for 3 years they have been nasty pitching him at the major league level. And what he's been able to do, hitting .287, .266, and .283, he's had to do that pretty much on his own without a big boy like this behind him.
And I agree, but we got to keep Nick Johnson healthy. Got to have Nick in front of him. Love having Adam Dunn behind him. Elijah Dukes starts hitting some rockets at people and hitting some balls over the fence. Ryan's going to see even better pitches in the 3-hole.
They want this pitch up, and that's where J.R. Tolles caught it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adam Dunn. Adam struck out 6 times in the St. Louis series, hit the big home run on Saturday. That's a foul tip. He just got a piece of that ball. Firestone is a tradition of innovation and the most walks in the last 5 years. Adam Dunn averaging way over 100 a year. Bobby Abreu's up there. Lance Berkman, there have been times when they pitched around him in Houston, and Todd Helton in Colorado. I think Pat Burrell's number surprises me. With all the thunder in that lineup, you wouldn't think people walk Pat Burrell that much. Hitting behind Utley, Howard. I guess maybe some pitchers were so shaken by the time Pat Burrell got up there they couldn't find the strike zone. Rollins, Victorino, Utley, and Howard may be the best first 4 hitter combination in baseball. Now, if Guzman starts heating it up, the Nats will put him, Johnson, Zimmerman, and Dunn up just about against anybody. Adam Dunn, he got under it. It's not going to make it. It's even short of the track. And Hunter Pence grabs it down the right field line. 2 outs. Top of the hour here in our nation's capital. Houston 1, Nats nothing on a first inning double by Lance Berkman. First meeting of the year between these two clubs. The Astros won 4 of the 6 last year and 2 of the 3 played here. In the history of the Washington Nationals, 28 games against the Astros. Houston's won 15, Washington 13. It's been pretty even. Nats won the season series as recently as 07, 5-2, and they split the year before that. Here's Elijah Dukes with 2 outs. Elijah took a fastball right down the middle with 2 men aboard, ending the bottom of the first. I thought he might be pumping early in the count if he sees something close.
Another slow cutter, but he struck Elijah out on a 2-seam sinker that he started in the left-handed batter's box that came across the plate last time. So be a little bit weary of that one, or leery. Tried it again. 2-seam sinker, didn't sink back over the plate.
High pitch count for Moeller. He's in the mid-50s here with 2 outs in the 3rd. John Lannon's gotten through his 3 innings on 42 pitches. Half of them strikes. Elijah fooled on a breaking ball, 1-2.
Well, it's either a slider or a cutter on the outer half. And he's getting Elijah. You see when a hitter's starting to panic a little bit or get frustrated, he expands his zone, and that's much to the delight of Moeller.
And Duke strikes out on a pitch in the dirt. Moeller's had a bunch of strikeouts. 5 of the 9 he's retired. Into the middle innings, Lannon down by a run. And Ryan Zimmerman appears to be worth every penny. But Rob, breaking down what he's doing with the bat right now, Rick Eckstein told me about 2 weeks ago that Ryan's bat is spending more time in the hitting zone than it ever has in his career.
Well, and I think it's the approach too. As you see it right here, head down, not a lot of movement there, short, threw the ball right back up the middle. And this is going to get you a lot of hits right here. It's not going to get you a lot of power sometimes if you don't get on the top of the bat. But as hard as he's been swinging it, he's getting a lot of hits, and he's got that 22-game hitting streak going. So I'm sure he'll take the hits right now, but the power will come. Just keep trying to hit line drives.
Christian Guzman makes an outstanding play on Lance Berkman to start off the top of the 4th inning. Not an easy play on a regular night, and on a night like this, look at that, a perfect strike. Pretty much throwing the ball on the run. If there's any question about Guzman and that hamstring, that question just got answered on that play. Really good. Here's Carlos Lee. And El Caballo was looking to bunt right there, with Zimmerman playing way back.
No, he looks into our dugout. I think he's just goofing with Manny Acta and the rest of the guys from the Dominican Republic where he is from. And I don't think he's going to lay down a bunt. He doesn't get paid to bunt and get hits. He gets paid to hit a lot of home runs.
He's hit 286 of them. And he jacks this ball to left center. Dukes has to be in a hurry. He'll have to play it on a hop. That ball was hit 400 feet. Carlos Lee hit 27 doubles last year when he batted .314 for this club.
Well, he is one of the best hitters in the major leagues that not a lot of people know about. Hit for power, hit for average, good on base percentage. And there you see him just taking a nice easy swing. He's so powerful. He'll take a double sometimes instead of a home run, but that was a very good acquisition by the Astros a few years ago.
They got him as a free agent in November of '06.
A little pricey. I think he was about $100 million.
Yeah, he had been involved in some one-sided deals. Traded to Milwaukee 3-for-1 from the White Sox in a deal that once involved Scott Podsednik and Luis Vizcaíno. And then a 6-player deal involving Kevin Mensch, Lance Nix, and Francisco Cordero. Got him to the Texas Rangers before he signed after 1 year as a free agent with Houston. I think you can see on that shot, it's kind of like a sideways blowing mist, the rain right now. But it is heavier than it has been at any point during our play tonight. Zimmerman will look the runner back to second, and Sale went over to Nick Johnson for the second out.
Well, the problem is too, Bob, the more it missed, the more it's going to be hanging out on the ground and the grass, and so you got to watch for some of these balls that come up and you catch it and it's soaking wet. But so far, Christian Guzman and Ryan Zimmerman hasn't affected their throws. Exmo, beautiful job, guys, right there. You see him two-handed, gets it sure, he gets a feel for it, picks up a proper 2-seam or 4-seam grip, whatever he likes, and then he flips it over to Nick Johnson.
You know, Ryan didn't bend his knees as much on that throw as he has been, and he almost sailed that baby. I only say that because Zimmerman's the one who said the Exmo will show us doing good things and not such good things. But he got the out, and that's all that matters. And the batter is Hunter Pence, who walked first time up. He was a baseball, football, track star at Arlington, Texas High School. That's a broken bat. Out to Guzman on the run, and Christian Guzman has a very good top of the 4th inning. And because he did, so did John Lennon. Kearns, Flores, and Hernandez coming up. That was a good thing at the Kentucky Derby, but not this horse race.
I think his glasses were fogging up. He couldn't see. It was all rainy out here.
You know, shouldn't the Rough Rider be given a horse once in a while?
There you go. He's not a mudder. Doesn't like the mud. Said beware the 27 earned run average.
Moeller has shut down the Nats so far on 4 hits.
Cy Moeller.
He's walked a batter, but he's made big pitches in a couple of jams. But the Nationals are seeing him for the 2nd time around. He didn't last a 2nd time around in his previous starts. Keppinger to his left over at 3rd and right on target. Kearns is 1 for 2. Become a citizen of Nats town and get a mini plan. 4 to choose from. It'll fit your schedule and your budget. There's a choice of 2 9-game plans. You pay for 8. A 12-gamer, pay for 11. Or you can still get some Sunday games. How many Sunday games you get? You pay for 1 fewer. 202-675-NATS. Nationals.com. Here's Jesus Flores. Hits the ball well to left center. That'll plug the gap and hit the wall right at the bullpen. Jesus Flores motors in with his 7th extra base hit of the year and his 3rd double.
Well, as Bob said, 2nd time through, this looks like a little cutter. Doesn't cut too much, stays in the zone a little bit too long. And Jesus Flores pounds that into the gap in left center. Guy who doesn't throw hard, you could be a little bit more patient at the plate and look for your pitch. Maybe they've come through this time, Bob, and subtracted one of those pitches from Moeller.
Yeah, first time up, he had Hernandez 0-2. Anderson singled up the middle. They're trying to get him to hit the ball in the air. Nearly every pitch they've thrown him has been up. John Lannon on deck here, bottom of the 4th. Houston leads 1-0. Astros have been okay on the road so far, 6-6. They took 2 of 3 at Atlanta over the weekend.
Ooh, that was it right there. Kind of an overswing right here. All you need is a base hit to try to get either Flores to 3rd or score him. Ball could skip in the outfield. And don't need a home run right here.
Yeah, Hunter Pence is their best throwing outfielder in right. But everybody's going to be picking up a wet baseball. So it's going to be very difficult tonight for outfielders to keep anybody from scoring from second base on a clean single. Ironically, Carlos Lee has the most assists, but that's because people keep running on him. He has 4 assists on the year.
He has a surprisingly good arm. He is a big man. He isn't, you know, the speedster that Michael Bourne is, but he can still throw.
2-1 to Hernandez.
That's
the other thing
better.
is, when they play in Houston, he plays a lot more shallow because of the Crawford boxes and the scoreboard out there, which even out in dead left center field is only 340 feet from home plate.
And ball over his head usually in the stands.
Yeah, so it's a lot like Fenway or right field in Baltimore, where you can really cheat.
Or Philly.
Pittsburgh's like that in right field.
In Philly.
Yeah, you're right. Guys can cheat a couple of steps, and that makes a difference. Anderson now on 2-2. Hernandez is hitting .310. And a little chopper left side with the runner flashing in front of him. Keppinger throws out. Anderson Hernandez. Flores to 3rd. Heads up base running play by Jesus. You never know when a breaking ball might squirt away on a night like this.
Well, the ball's in front of him, and we talked about this with Elijah Dukes, but it's to the 3rd baseman. If it's to the shortstop, you could be dead at 3rd, but right there, Jesus gets away with it because Keppinger had to field it, or else they wouldn't have had a chance at Hernandez at 1st, and it would have been 1st and 3rd with Lannon coming up. But normally you don't want to run when the ball's to the left side. That worked to our advantage.
And he saw that Keppinger was playing rather deep. Here's John Lannon with a chance for his 2nd career RBI. He's had a couple of hits this year. 2 for 9. Did not have a good bunting at bat first time. Fouled off 2. And then stabbed at a 3rd strike and missed it.
Well, since he doesn't throw that hard, you can't be intimidated by Moeller. So hopefully John will stand in there and try to hit a fly ball out to the outfield.
That was a little further outside. Looked like Mike Winters thought about it for a moment.
He did.
And the count's 2-1. Mike's a 20-year veteran. He's at a wide sort of horizontal strike zone tonight. And Moeller's taking advantage of that.
Well, it's a nasty evening, and the umpires recognize that. They want to get this game in also. A little bit more liberal with the strike zone, which I have no problem with. Just make sure you call it both ways. Be consistent.
And the players should get the message, if it's close, be hacking, especially when it's 2-2.
You know, we've talked about that strike zone. The other day, Jamie Moyer walked 4 guys, and Madsen from the Phillies walked a couple. And the Phillies are now starting to say that the strike zone has shrunk. I mean, yes, Oliver Perez did walk 6, but we've seen that before.
Yeah.
Jamie Moyer normally doesn't walk 4 guys in 5 innings.
Now, that wouldn't have anything to do with a decline in attendance or the economic situation, would it?
Because
they say
I'm sure they don't want me to say that, but not a lot of people want to see, like the Jake Peavy Kershaw 8-inning shutout, matchup the other night, Dodgers and Padres. But I like it. That's well pitched, well played baseball.
John Lennon's having a nice at bat here.
It can't all be football scores.
Here's a great question right on our theme from George Keene in Centerville.
I thought I just answered that before we got it asked.
But we wanted to give George credit for a great question.
Great job, George.
We just happen to be talking about. Nice going, George. Thank you.
When it's way too hot or it's rainy like this, you will get a few more calls.
And George, we'll try to anticipate your next question and talk about it before we can get it on the screen. But we like to give credit to our viewers whenever we can. That was a good one. 2-2 to John Lannon, who continues to hang tough. He's increasing his chances of hitting a fair ball somewhere for an RBI. That's fair. Not going nearly far enough. And the Astros are out of the inning. The Nats have stranded 6 runners in the first 4. John's pitching well. He needs to keep doing so. And by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Hi there, little lady. She's got her pink Nats cap on. Rooting for her favorite guys as we go to the top of the 5th here. Houston 1, Washington nothing. And I stand by what I said earlier. That will not be the final score. Aflac trivia tonight. Which player has the highest slugging percentage versus the Nationals since 2007?
Lance Berkman.
I concur. 1 pitch, 1 fly ball. Here comes Dukes. No, he won't get there, and Guzman won't either. And a Texas leaguer falls in for Jeff Keppinger.
Well, if somebody were to email the question, this kind of weather will hurt your defense sometimes, and this is the type of play. Guzman going out. He's already been on the disabled list. Elijah's staring at him the whole time. Does not want to run him over. What happens on that play, Elijah has to take control and be the captain of center field in that area because it's his ball. And he heard Elijah coming, so they didn't want to collide. A little more communication, gentlemen, but...
And Lannon's at the bottom of the order. Tolles and Moeller.
Well, hopefully it won't hurt right here. A nice ground ball double play will pick up your teammates.
Astros have hit into 26 of them this year, including 1 tonight. They, by the way, defensively lead the league in double plays with 31 already. But that's not always a stat you want to lead the league in, because that means your pitchers have a lot of guys on base. Braves have jumped on the Mets down in Atlanta. 3-0 game there in the fourth. And a little flare out to left center. That's going to drop. A good base running play by Keppinger. I thought he was going to go to third. Now he wishes he would have. Nobody there to catch that throw. It's first and second, nobody out, and probably the most ideal bunting situation you can have for your pitcher. So John Lennon throws a couple of little fly balls, but they both fall in. Brian Moeller, the pitcher, flied to center first time. Hanley Ramirez has hit his third homer of the year. And down in Florida, the Marlins lead the Reds 1-0. A lot of things happening here on this play. That's a great bunt. Flores can only go to second, where Hernandez is covering. Sacrifice perfect on a 2-4.
Well, sometimes the pitcher does lay down a perfect bunt, and your only play is to first take the out, try to kill the rally as quickly as possible, if there is a rally. But second and third now with one out. Remember, it's still wet. Guys are going to run around a little bit gingerly.
The Nats played the infield in at the corners. Manny's thinking is on a ball hit up the middle, either get an out or knock it down so it doesn't drive in 2 runs. But a ground ball at Zimmerman, Johnson, or the pitcher, and the Nats are coming home if Keppinger does.
Yeah, there might not be a lot of runs scored in this game, especially from the Nats perspective, so try to stop this run right here.
John hangs a breaking ball upstairs, 2-0. I'm glad he hung that thing up as high as he did. That breaking ball had no action on it. Matsui's driven in 9 runs this year. He's a troublesome pinch hitter, switch hitter who makes contact. He's bunted for a hit and he's walked.
He helped the Rockies go all the way to the World Series a few years ago.
That year he had a walk-off hit against the Nationals in Colorado. And he's been good with runners in scoring position, 8 of his 9 RBIs. Two-one pitch, target in. Lannon got it a little out over that inner half, but Matsui didn't catch up with it.
Well, and you see Matsui's trying to drive the ball to right field too. He's either trying to get a hit or just nice play right there. Sign him up.
Give that fan a contract. Two-two. Off-speed pitch, and that's going to drive in 2. John Lennon threw an off-speed delivery that was hanging up right over the plate in the middle of the strike zone, and he continues to get hurt on pitches like that. The one to Chase Utley comes to mind last week, and the Astros lead 3-0.
Well, he just had trouble with the fastball in. He fouled it off, and then he just hangs a breaking ball. Light hitting second baseman. We call them Judies. And he's just all over that breaking ball. You're doing him a favor by slowing it down.
Well, that hurts. 2 bloops, a sacrifice, and a line drive, and Houston has tripled its lead, and a fastball up and into Michael Bourne. Robbie, I know you've harped on this many times. There are certain guys in the lineup you throw the breaking balls to, but the little guys in crucial situations, you don't.
Well, the top and the bottom. Let's just say the top and the bottom of the order. Not many power hitters are at the top and the bottom. They're speedsters, they're light hitters, they're contact guys. They're just trying to put the ball in play. And when you throw a ball that kind of floats in there, gives him a little bit more time to just sit on it and either pull that one for a right-handed switch hitter, or even a left-handed guy. He can pluck it down the left field line. I mean, you're doing them, I'm not saying a favor, you're letting them hit it, but you're helping them, because hard in is not what they want to see. Even hard away. There's Cecil Cooper, an excellent hitter, almost a lifetime 300 hitter in his day.
This ball driven to right center, and Houston's going to score again. Michael Bourne is very fast, digging for three. Great throw, and he's out. Excellent relay from Anderson Hernandez. That's the second out of the inning. So an RBI double for Bourne, making it 4-0.
Well, there's a fastball in. Bourne keeps his hands in. As Bob told you, he's hitting 500 over his last, 14 at bats coming into tonight. Short stroke, fast guy. He goes for three. Great relay right there. Dukes to Hernandez to Zimmerman. They got a run on that. It's now 4-zip.
Elijah will get credit for his 4th outfield assist of the year. Bases empty, 2 outs for Lance Berkman, 1 for 2 with a double. Houston now out hitting the Nats 7-5 and leading 4-0. And I guess it was the knee for Brian Mueller before he went on the DL. Logan Kensing up. The Nats might be into their bullpen very early on this chilly and damp night. We were talking about Cecil Cooper. He hit 308 times. So you know he likes what he's seeing right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I talked to him the other day and on my radio show, and he talked about the middle of the order has not been getting it done. And he said the top and the bottom has been pretty decent. He's getting much better pitching than he thought. I mean, Russ Ortiz in spring training threw so well. He made the team. Mike Hampton was a plus and some gravy for them. He made the team. So a few guys that he didn't expect to be on his starting rotation. And then Wandy Rodriguez, their left-hander, who's never really pitched that well, is doing a great job too for them.
And there's Berkman with another hit. John Lannon tried to get inside on him on 2-2. And the Astros have 5 hits in this inning. Carlos Lee is next. John Lannon's ERA coming in 4.61. The Nationals 5.01. They were passed up over the weekend by the Rockies, and now only the Phillies have an higher ERA than Washington. And a strike to Carlos Lee, 1 for 2 with a double last time up. This was a 1-0 game into this inning until Kaz Matsui drove in 2. That's an off-speed pitch that you would throw to a big power guy. Well, he almost untied his own shoelaces. Two
great pitches. Change up, down and away, and then a backdoor slow breaking ball by John Lannon, and then right here bust him in. Throw a fastball right in on his hands, throw a hard slider down in his ankles. He's thrown 2 away.
That's a breaking ball that hits the bag at third. Can Zimmerman make a miracle play? Nick Johnson had to come off the bag for the throw.
Well, they went away with another soft breaking ball, which I don't agree with. Right there, you got him leaning over the plate. Come back with something hard. And that had way too much of the plate. And there you go, off the base. Here's our pitch tracks on this last pitch to Carlos Lee. Way too much of the plate there on a slow breaking ball.
On 0-2.
On 0-2. High and tight, low and away. Worked wonders for Chiron Martis the other day. And I don't know why we've gone away from that today, but no matter how hard you throw or soft, it's worked for over 100+ years.
I don't see the pitcher shaking off the catcher much.
Well, I think that was the plan going in tonight, and I don't know why. I mean, he's done so well against right-handers. He's had trouble with left-handers. Bust those guys in. He had been doing a great job of busting guys in, especially the right-handers.
He has Tejada hitting the ball on the ground twice, 0 for 2. Once to third, once to short.
Berkman, Lee, and Tejada are all dangerous from the right side. Even Hunter Pence. Got to tie their arms up. Don't let them get extension.
Yeah, this is a very right-handed hitting team when you're throwing a lefty. Because of Berkman, the switch hitter, who's dangerous either way, probably more power right-handed.
And they will expand their zone. Tejada strikes out a lot. Lee strikes out. I mean, they'll go after some pitches. You just got to tease them and get it out there.
This ball club had the fewest walks in the league last year, only 449.
Does that mean they like to swing it?
That means they love to swing it.
We're hacking. We're a bunch of lumberjacks.
Close on 0-2.
This pitch is a hard fastball right on the black. Just misses. Go there again. See if he'll bite. Well, he goes changeup away. A little bit too hard. If you go on the premise, Bob, that hitters love to hit, they want to swing, you can do a lot of things with them. You could throw a bad pitch 3 times in a row when you get an 0-2 count, and they might fish at one.
That ball hit hard to center. Duke's right there. John Lannon did not fool the Astros at all in the 5th. They get 3 runs on 6 hits.
On Saturday night, the players all got all dressed up in their tuxedos, and they participated in the annual Dream Foundation Gala over at the National Harbor at the Gaylord Resort and Convention Center. And what a night. A lot of great auction items, a silent auction, a live auction. They raised money for the new Pediatrics Diabetes Care Center at Children's Hospital, and also to help build a baseball academy. It was a great night. Adam Dunn and Ryan Zimmerman donning their tuxes, and you have to watch on May 11th at 9 o'clock. Johnny Holiday and I will be co-hosting a special, and it's definitely a must-see presentation. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie. It was great to see you there, and Rob, all dressed up. And it was a neat night. The highlight, of course, was, I thought there were 2 highlights. Number 1 was the Nationals jersey that Adam Dunn wore, going for more than $8,000. And we do have a sense of humor. A lot of people made fun of the Nationals over that thing, but we turned it around and made it a positive for charity. And then my partner showed up unannounced with a bat signed by Albert Pujols that fetched over $4,000. That was very nice for the Dream Foundation, Rob, and that was found money for them. They were not counting on that. That was very nice of you to do that.
It was my pleasure. I love the Lerner family for giving me this opportunity with the Nationals in Masson. So it's the least I could do. I know Albert from way back. We have the same agent, my former baseball agent, the Beverly Hills Sports Council, and he's still with them. And I made him a deal he couldn't refuse. I'm kidding.
Well, he's
just such a wonderful guy, and he's a very charitable young man. And our own Nick Johnson's the one who shelled out the big bucks for the bat. And I don't know if he's using it tonight. He better not be. I'm kidding.
No.
But that was very cool by Nick to buy Albert's bat. And it goes to a great cause.
Ryan Zimmerman is 2 for 2 and hitting .320. 32 hits in his first 100 at bats.
But ladies, did you know he's one of the most eligible bachelors in the D.C. area now?
Oh, he looked pretty good in the tux.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he wants people to know that, but I just told you anyway.
Longest hitting streaks for those young guys. Willie Taveras a few years ago, former Astro.
Those were the Reds.
There it goes. Yeah. Left field, and it is up against the very top of the wall. Zimmerman missing a homer by a foot or two, and he's 3 for 3. And is this guy locked in or what? Hey, Rob, you know how hard it is to get 200 hits? Zimmerman had 32 hits in his first 100 at bats. If you do that every 100 at bats for 500, you still only have 160 hits. That's how hard it is to get 200 hits. Ryan Zimmerman usually gets about 600 at bats. He could be flirting with something like that the way he's locked in this year.
Well, that's a big 2-out double. We need to try to get him in right here. Hopefully Moeller will make another mistake to Adam Dunn, and maybe it'll be 4-2.
The Nationals have had at least one hit in every inning, 3 of them by Zimmerman, and Adam Dunn's 0 for 2. Strikeout, fly out to right. That's amazing when you can hit 320 for 500 at bats, and you're still 40 hits short of 200. Something not a whole lot of guys can do anymore.
How about you could get 200 hits for 20 years and be short of Pete Rose's record?
No. Up and in. 2-0. Now here's a situation that's interesting. Houston's up by 4. He doesn't want to walk anybody. Adam Dunn might see something to hit more in this at bat than he would in a tighter ball game.
Well, that's that 2-seam running fastball that he's gotten Elijah Dukes a couple of times tonight. And he keeps it on the inner half, keeping those hands tied up on Dunn. Going away with a sinker. He's a crafty one, that Moeller.
Well, he doesn't look like a pitcher with a 27.00 ERA.
Well, remember, he had the bad knee, and then he went down to Double-A, and that's your best gauge at how good you're going to do in the big leagues. He got beat up for 11 hits in 5 innings, so you knew that he was probably going to come back here and deal. It's too bad he's doing it against us so far, but we got time to get him.
He won't be around for the later innings with that pitch count. And the Astros have a beat-up bullpen. They're actually a man short. To make room on the roster today for Moeller, they DL'd Doug Brocail, who pulled a hamstring covering first base yesterday. And he's a guy that has really been tough on the Nationals throughout his San Diego and Houston career. 2 balls and a strike to Dunn. The Nats need a big fly here. That's a low strike, 2-2. Dunn took a glance back at Mike Winters. I think Adam thought he had ball 3.
Well, this pitch is a little bit low. He has not been given that one tonight, but obviously Moeller has earned that right after being around the strike zone all night.
85 on that sinker. It's a cold night. You better be hacking if it's anywhere close. This is one of the best batting eyes in the league, but he may have to expand that zone. And there's a swing that tells you he was thinking just that. More often than not, Adam Dunn will let that one go. trying to take a big bite out of this 4-0 Houston lead in the bottom of the 5th. Dunn breaks his bat and hooks it out of play.
We'll get some new wood.
The handle slivered off right in his hands.
Big swing by Adam Dunn right there. See that bat snap in his hands.
Muller's given up 1 home run this year. Pitching right around 9 innings. In this, his 3rd start. By far the best he has pitched. Upstairs, the count goes full. Three and 2. Fastball up. Second time tonight that Moeller has gone full on Adam Dunn. He did that before striking him out with 2 men aboard in the 1st inning. Elijah Dukes is waiting. He has fanned twice. And he changed up on him and threw it outside. Remember last time he threw Dunn that running fastball away. So the Nats have 2 runners aboard again. 3rd time tonight. And we'll see if Elijah Dukes can come up large with 2 outs here.
Well, the pitch before that walk, Adam fouled one straight back, and maybe Tolles and Moeller started thinking, well, he's starting to get on you a little bit. Maybe we should put him on base. Then you have a force at any of the infield bases other than home and 2 outs. And the guy that you've pretty much dominated all night, a couple of punch outs on Elijah Dukes. Why don't we go for him?
Dukes caught looking in the 1st, swinging in the 3rd. And Elijah now, over his last 10 games, is 6 for 33.
Yeah, we need to get him hot again.
He just can't lay off that breaking ball away. Well, that was a cutter, 86. But Moeller has just gone away on him. Willie's got his rally hood, towel, and cap on here. Oh, rally bat, too. Sorry. And gloves. He saw Debbie Taylor's promo and went and got a jacket. On a broken bat, a base hit to left. Coming around to score is Zimmerman. The Nationals are on the board. The bat explodes to short. The ball falls in left, and Elijah has his 14th RBI.
Well, this is a strong young man right here. This is a jam shot, bad breaking ball. Backs up on him right there. Snaps his bat off in his hand, but he powers it into left field. Take that RBI 2-out single. Willie Harris, rally bat in hand. Well, now he puts it down to Clapp.
You know, I noticed Ryan Zimmerman got a real good jump with that bat head heading right for him.
Yeah.
That's as quick as he's gone to 3rd in a long time.
And their bullpen's going to get warm now.
Houston pitching coach is Dewey Robinson.
Dewey.
That looks like Wesley Wright, the lefty. And the right-hander is Felipe Paulino. that's Wandy Rodriguez, not Wesley Wright.
That's Joel Hanrahan in our bullpen.
Yeah, we know him. And a big spot now for Austin Kearns. He's 1 for 2. Severely jammed and fouls it off to the left side.
Be patient right here. Get the one that you can hit. Bad cutter.
The Nationals suddenly get the tying run to the plate a half inning after Houston scored 3. And Kearns goes to right field for a base hit. Adam Dunn will score. Elijah Duke's going to third, and the Nats string some hits together to cut the lead in half. It's now 4-2.
We're cooking now. Yeah, Screech, tell him. Well, this looks like a bad cut fastball right there, and it is, and he smacks it the other way. Great piece of hitting by Austin Kearns right there. If you pull that, it's probably a ground ball to Tejada, but you go with it. 2 out RBI. Screech.
He knows a rally when he sees one. And now Jesus Flores could make this a real big inning. The Nats already have a crooked number on the board. They might have Moeller on the ropes here, trying to go through 5 innings. All of this offense starting with the Zimmerman 2-out double. When you have one guy who is just so hot, he makes things happen, and that's what Ryan did here. Things were kind of in a bit of a lull after Guzman and Nick Johnson went out on routine outs. Zimmerman put a charge in this ball club. Flores goes deep to left center, but that ball's not going to carry on a night like this. But the Nats get a couple. 2 runs on 3 hits around the walk, a nice meal, and now a better looking score.
Landon takes the hill. Top of the 6th inning here. He's allowed 9 hits and 4 runs to the Houston Astros club, and let's see if he can hold them right there.
Might be John's last inning of work. He's due to bat 2nd in the 6th. But if he can keep the Astros at bay, the Nats are about to get their starter out of the game. John's thrown 80 pitches, 81 to be exact. Hunter Pence in the 6th. First pitch swinging. Guzman behind it. 1 out. And Hunter Pence's hustle made that a close play. I like to watch that kid play. Next up will be Jeff Keppinger and then J.R. Tolles. They got Keppinger from Cincinnati for a player to be named later on the last day of March. That player turned out to be infielder Drew Sutton. He had 266 for the Reds last year, 332 in 67 games the year before that. He's out of that very rich athletic tradition at Parkview High School in Lilburn, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta.
No, come on. Well, if you're going to give this pitch to Moeller, you got to give it to John Lannon. The 1-1 pitch here, right across the plate in the inner half.
Zimmerman cuts it off. He's got a much shorter throw, and Ryan works his magic again.
Got a Zimmerman there.
That guy's playing some ball, isn't he?
Yep. He's pretty happy right now. He's got 3 hits tonight. Play some great defense. Look at this.
Well, you know,
swallows it up like a vacuum.
Rob, you've seen this. A lot of guys celebrate a new contract by going in the tank for about 3 weeks.
This is true.
Ryan Zimmerman is celebrating his by elevating his play to a high level defensively and with the bat.
Well, you know, it takes a lot of heat off you. Now you don't have to worry about money the rest of your life, so you might as well just play some ball. And he brings his A game to the field every day.
John Lannon's working quicker, and he puts an 0-2 breaking ball in the dirt for the pitcher, Jason Michaels. And he was part of that Philadelphia deal on deck. So the Nats will be into the Astros bullpen for at least 4 innings tonight. 2-2. I mean, you're down by 2, but you kind of like the feel of the ball game right now.
Yes.
The Nats are back in it. Lannon may be about to finish with a flourish.
No, he may have not had his best stuff tonight, but this is still an excellent start. He's kept us in the game. If he can get us through 6 when it's only a 4-2 game, he's done his job. He's given us an opportunity to win this ball game. They're not all pretty and beautiful and shutouts and complete games, but it's effective.
And he throws a strike, gets a ground ball to Guzman. 3 grounders in the inning, and John Lannon does finish with a flourish, if indeed that's it for him tonight. Hernandez, then the pitcher spot, then Guzman. The Nats now down just 2. No hidden fees. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Jaguar, visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the thrilling performance of the new 510 horsepower Jaguar XFR. On to the bottom of the 6th inning. Nats have the bottom of their order. They are into the Houston bullpen. Copyrighted telecast tonight is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Nationals may not be disseminated. On to the bottom of the 6th. Left-hander Wesley Wright for the Astros. High ERA, 1 victory in 10 appearances. He's a 24-year-old left-hander from Montgomery, Alabama, who they got back in December of '07 in the Rule 5 draft from the Dodgers. Dodgers took him in the 7th round back in '03. 71 games for the Astros last year, but again, a high ERA of over 5. So his career earned run average is 5+.
Just kind of normal for today's pitchers. Years ago, he'd be back in the minor leagues with that ERA.
2-0. And he misses again. Moeller was around the plate for the most part tonight. His only walk was Adam Dunn in that 2-run 5th. He struck out 5, gave the Nats 2 runs on 8 hits. The Houston bullpen has an ERA of 3.99. And a leadoff walk to the number 8 hitter. And that'll bring up Ronnie Belliard to hit for John Lannon. John Lannon will go 6 innings, give up 4 runs on 9 hits, a couple of walks. John did not register a strikeout tonight. He did have a double play ball. And he threw 91 pitches, 50 strikes. Joe Hanrahan appears to be next. 15 first pitch strikes for Lannon of the 26 batters he faced. Ronnie Belliard 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter this year. Overall, he's 4 for 24 with an RBI. Short lead by Hernandez. Ronnie Belliard gets a piece of that one. It's going to the track, but no further. And it must have died on Carlos Lee, who almost ended up genuflecting as he caught that ball. Interesting. The air must be really heavy and dead at Nationals Park on this cool, damp Monday evening. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor. Bottom of the 6th, the Nats are threatening to get closer and closer in this game, down 4-2. And I think you would say, and that kid knows it, he knows Christian Guzman is due for a base hit here. No, Guzman is 2 for his last 21.
It might be a she. I think she had a pink coat on. She knows there's no cookies in the big leagues. That's what Felipe Alou used to say.
No cookies?
No, that means a fastball down Broadway. A cookie.
Yeah. No cookies in the big league.
I stole that from Kevin Kennedy.
I like that.
They were all up in Montreal together, and he was the manager up there. And get no cookies in the big leagues.
That guy could hit.
Yes, he
Felipe Alou is a great hitter.
His son was pretty good too.
Yeah, Moyes has really had a good career.
I'm in his book.
That Alou family could hit. Little Matty Alou back in the 60s. He used to use a bat as big as the one Richie Allen used, and he'd just bump singles all over the place. And then there was Jesus, the 3rd brother. I think Felipe was the best overall hitter and player easily of the 3. 1-1 to Kristen Guzman, 0 for 3 tonight. Maybe batting right-handed will get him a hit.
You know what, though? If he keeps playing defense the way he's playing, he doesn't have to hit that much. We got guys that can hit.
Well, I did have a smart baseball man once tell me, Rob, if you have to have a shortstop and a catcher who hit, you don't have a very good ball club.
I would agree. It's got to be strong up the middle. Catcher, shortstop, second base, center field. Start with that and some pitching.
Guzman looks it all the way in. It was low, 2-1. They're having quite a battle in Atlanta now. The Mets have stormed from behind to lead the Braves 4-3. Carlos Beltran and David Wright have hit home runs. Guzman steps away from ball 3. It's interesting. Beltran's home run is only his 3rd, and David Wright's is only his 2nd.
But David is starting to hit the ball a little better on this road trip. He was scuffling when we saw him. We might have put him into a little slump.
Yeah. Jordan Zimmerman might have put him into a slump.
They're not kind in New York either.
Florida scored another run in the 6th. Marlins 2, Reds nothing. Top of the 7th down there. And here Guzman has a 3-1 count to work with. He's been known to muscle up and drive the ball on counts like this. He'll take a strike that just catches the corner on its way by. So now he knows you got to be swinging if it's close.
3-1 pitch track right here. Wesley Wright. We've gotten a little bit of the corner.
You only need a little bit, don't you?
Tonight. A little chilly, a little rainy.
3-2. Hernandez holding. Base hit, Guzman. We were hoping the right side of the plate would result in that. And the tying run is on base here in the 6th inning.
Oh, and that's the right stuff.
Nothing like staying on the ball and going the other way to fight yourself out of a 2 for 21.
Well, he recognized the same thing as the last pitch. It was just a little bit up, fastball away, hit it away. He'll take a single right there, 1st and 2nd with an out.
Hit that ball off his front foot.
And I think that's about it for, well, one more maybe for Mr. Wright. They have some people warming up in their bullpen. As Nick's a straight lefty.
Well, earlier we had trivia from Aflac against the Nats in 07, the highest slugging percentage. Rob and I concur that it should be Lance Berkman, unless we've been
duped,
totally fooled.
It's Carlos
Lee. I guarantee you Lance Berkman has driven in more runs against the Nats than Carlos Lee has.
I was going to say the big caballo, but I was fed some false information.
You know, Rob, you got to listen to your heart.
I know. I knew better. That guy's the slugger.
Nick Johnson 0 for 2 with a walk.
Average guy. He's probably got the highest batting average against us in the last few years. Doesn't matter. What matters right here is that Nick gets another single or a double.
Nick has been on base now with his walk tonight in 22 of his 23 games this year. On base average hovering at about 410. And it stays upstairs, ball 2.
There he is, Magnum ZI.
Man, how hot is that guy?
Magnum ZI. There he is, single, a lot of money. Soon he'll be driving a Ferrari. I don't know. I doubt it. Probably a pickup truck. Knowing him.
Magnum ZI.
Come on, Nick.
You know, I hope the department that prints the paychecks in this building has a lot of letters on it, because there are going to be big checks made out to guys named Zimmerman for many years around here.
Well,
one with one N and one with two.
We used to say for the guys like Zimmerman that you're going to be getting a lot of donuts on your check. And Cecil Field used to call it that guy, he's got a lot of iron, meaning he's got a lot of coin.
Nick, tired of waiting, asking if he can step out. Two-two pitch. Wesley Wright to Nick Johnson with 1 out and 2 men aboard. Way upstairs. And how sweet would it be to have the bases loaded for the on-deck hitter?
Well, I don't think Wright will face Zimmerman. They have a righty down in their pen ready to go, but that would be nice. 1 out, bases juiced.
Felipe Paulino, the right-hander they were warming up earlier. Here's a 3-2 to Nick Johnson. Big pitch in this game for Houston. And he walks him on a fastball upstairs, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
That'll do her for Mr. Wright.
And Cecil Cooper's coming out to make a double switch. So Wright will pitch 1/3 of an inning, give up a hit, and walk 2. So the Nats are in business here in the 6th. Who else would you want than Zimmerman? Games in a row now. Hit the ball up the middle. Make the middle work a little. Then he pulled his second one, and then Rob, he really hit the ball well 3rd time out.
Well, the first 2 were down, so he just beat them down hard and got a couple of knocks and then double and some great D. And you're 3 for 3. Now you take some hits away from the other club. Very nicely done. Magnum ZI.
Felipe Paulino. There's Jeff Blum, who now bats 9th and plays 3rd base. And Paulino, 25-year-old right-hander from the Dominican. Fastball up. He's 0-2 with a 2.75 ERA. He made 1 start, actually 3 starts, 1 relief appearance. But he's been very hittable, 22 hits in 19 innings.
Now here's the trick. Don't help him. Make him throw a strike.
The tying runs on 2nd base with 1 out. Ryan might take another one. Ooh. It was up and in. Might have been ball 2, but it also might have left the ballpark.
Yes, could have been a grand salami. Here's the Exmo swing right here. Quick step, head down. Try to drive it downtown. Now shorten up the swing a little bit, be a little more defensive. Base hit ties the score. See that graphic? First 3-hit game of the hit streak.
Yeah, he's been getting 1 or 2 hits every night. Still waiting for that real breakout 4 or 5 hit game, and this could be that time. Did he lay off? Yes, he did, said Lance Barksdale. Anderson Hernandez walked to lead off the inning. And I think you'll see a take here.
Here's the Exmo. No, he didn't. Call goes to the Nats.
He does not want to go to 3-1 here. Zimmerman should get something to work with. Yep. Anderson Hernandez led off for the walk after Ronnie Belliard flied out. Guzman singled to right, and then Nick Johnson walked to load the bases. It's 2-1 on Zimmerman. The Nats are down 4-2 here, bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball, kind of a backup breaking ball that was right on the inner half of the plate. Unusual looking pitch. Almost had a Scroogey look to it. This is a big kid, 6'2", Paulino from Santo Domingo. Ryan needs contact here. Ooh, that was close. Possible this umpire's never seen this pitcher before. 3-2.
Great breaking ball right here. They would call this a 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock break. Straight down. A little low.
Could he throw him a breaking ball on 3-2?
He throws him a third in a row. He should crush it.
Crowd making some noise. As you can tell from our center field camera, it's a little misty here tonight. And a 3-2 coming. That's a breaking ball that misses. And Zimmerman gets an RBI without swinging the bat. It's now 4-3. And Adam Dunn comes up in a big spot. Boy, those were borderline pitches.
This is a sequence to Ryan Magnum Z.I. Zimmerman. Fastball up at about 95. Swings at the second fastball right there at about 95. And then 94 up and in. Big breaking ball with Charlie for strike one. Another big breaking ball for ball 4.
Wow.
Yeah, but he got the one right in the middle of the plate. And then he didn't call the low one, and then that one was high.
There's a running fastball for a strike to Adam Dunn.
Yeah, he wants the 95 on the inner half so he can. Well, who's down there? Joel Hanrahan, so Joel could catch that in the bullpen.
First order of business, though, get the run in from third no matter what.
I agree.
Anything else is gravy in this inning.
And you got to run hard, not get doubled up.
And Dunn's all locked up. 0-2.
Nine career grand slams for the big boy.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 1 run in. That's up and into Adam Dunn. Not a bad 0-2 or 1-2 pitch.
That's a tough pitch to take. You better have a good eye.
He might have taken it because there was no way to pull the trigger. 2-2. The Nationals, an inning and a half ago, were down 4-0. Adam Dunn with a base hit to right center. That will score a couple. Washington takes the lead.
Sweet.
Adam Dunn up to 20 RBIs. And without hitting a home run, one of his best at-bats of the year. All 3 of those runs charged to Wesley Wright.
Well, a tough 1-2 fastball to lay off, and then he gets the breaking ball he was looking for. Sometimes just a base hit by the big man or anyone in our lineup scores us a couple. And as Bob said, we take the lead. That's why you play the game.
And this is one of the worst things that could happen to Houston. Their starter out after 5, a beleaguered bullpen worn out by a long rain delay in Atlanta. Then they come up here, and in the mist, the Nats have made a dramatic comeback here in the span of less than 2 innings. Elijah Dukes had an RBI last time up, the Nats' first run of the night. And now the first order of business again remains the same. Get the runner home from third with less than 2 outs.
Well, this is big right here. If Elijah does hit it on the ground, he's got to hustle to first and make sure they don't double up on this play, because we need that run from third. That's huge.
But the trend is these Houston relievers keep falling behind hitters.
That's never a good thing. That's been kind of our MO with our bullpen. I like having the opponent do that occasionally.
That's a great take by Dukes, who has been a victim of breaking balls almost all night.
Well, I'm sure he's happy that Muller's out of this game. He has been sinkered and cuttered and breaking balled to death tonight.
Up the middle, perfectly placed, and a base hit. And the Nationals lead 6-4. And still only 1 out. Elijah Dukes, second RBI of the night, and 15 on the year.
Well, it's a bit misty out here, but we can still see 95, and right there, 95 right back up the middle looks pretty nice. Look at the Exmo catching the action. He's happy that wasn't a cutter or a sinker. Kaz Matsui just can't get to it. So 6-4, Bob. Our guys are just doing what you should do sometimes, just hit a lot of singles.
Austin Kearns, the 8th National to bat in the inning. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight. His 2-out hit last inning made this a 4-2 game. Fastball right down the middle. What you love about this, the fact that the Nationals, on a night when the ball's not carrying well at all, they're just making contact, hitting line drives and hard grounders and getting base hits. This is one of the better prolonged rallies we've seen this year. Austin takes it upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kearns started the night at 250. He's now hitting 271. It hit him. You could hear it, and the bases are loaded. A fastball right around his belt buckle, and the Nats will have the bases loaded for Jesus Flores.
Well, there's nobody warming up in their pen, and as Bob said, their beleaguered bullpen is short a guy tonight. You see it with the Exmo hit his jersey. Cecil Cooper does not know what just happened. 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now we have one of our best fastball hitters at the plate with a guy throwing 95. Let's see if he could hit Jesus's bat right here.
Flores, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Paulino's faced 4 batters, hasn't retired a 1.
That's a breaking ball.
Did he go? No swings as Barksdale at first.
Can't see it. It's real hazy.
Jeff Fulcino now throwing for the Astros. Jesus Flores 1 for 3 with a double to right left center tonight. And he goes right field, but that's not going to be deep enough to score a run. Caught by Matsui for the 2nd out. And the man who started all of this, Anderson Hernandez, will bat again here in the 6th inning. I was told by one of the Houston broadcasters that the bullpen situation is so bad,
critical,
that Roy Oswalt volunteered to pitch an inning in Atlanta this weekend after a long rain delay, knowing his start was coming up Tuesday.
Instead of his side day, he was going to throw out of the pen to help him. That's pretty cool.
That says a lot about Roy. And here's Anderson, who singled, walked, and scored. Well, it's already a big inning. And that is some play by J.R. Tolles to corral that thing. Anderson Hernandez could make this a huge inning.
It's the last pitch right in the dirt. This saves at least 1 run. Anderson Hernandez. You got to be the traffic cop and tell a guy to slide or not.
I thought that ball was headed for the limestone behind home plate. That's ball 2.
Don't help.
You know, this is interesting. Ronnie Belliard's in the on-deck circle. He could have 2 at-bats in the same inning as a pinch hitter. He is still in the ball game until somebody like Joel Hanrahan replaces him in the lineup. And it might happen now. Ball 3.
Now you got to take 2 right here. Unless he just throws a meat 3-1 pitch if he does get a strike here.
Nationals lead 6-4. And how about another? It's now 7-4 Washington.
Cha-ching! That's going to be it for Mr. Paulino.
Well, that's his second walk, plus he hit a batter and gave up 2 hits. So he, like Wesley Wright, retires only 1 batter coming out of the Houston bullpen here in the 7th. Ronnie Belliard never dreamed he'd have 2 at-bats in the same inning when he came in as a pinch hitter.
Your bullpen in, like you said, in the 5th and 6th innings, and you wear them out. And then tomorrow, Roy Oswalt, who has not won in his last 6 starts, he's having his own problems, so he's going to have to try to go deeper into the ballgame. So what we do tonight could affect tomorrow's ballgame, definitely.
So the Nats in control here as another pitcher. Jeff Fulcino works in the 6th.
Well, and just take your time. Make this guy come. He didn't get a lot of throws down in the bullpen. Make him throw some strikes. Don't help this guy out. This could be a nice long rally.
Here's Ronnie Belliard again. He hits the ball well to center, and it is caught on the run by Michael Bourne. Ronnie Belliard almost made this a huge inning. Hey, 5's pretty big, isn't it? things are kind of fun in town tonight. The Nationals are ahead 7-4. The Caps are ahead 4-2 in the third period. And the Nationals took a little walk on the wild side there in that 5-run sixth inning. That was good. Let's see if Joel Hanrahan can be good here.
Joel,
Jeff Blum.
Big 0 right here, Joel.
You do. This is the key 7th inning.
Yep.
Because if you can zero them out here, then Manny can really get his bullpen set up for the last 6 outs. And that scenario will get even better when Joe Bimel's back in the next couple of days.
Debbie Taylor says he should be activated on the West Coast swing.
I believe it.
Hoping. That would be nice to see Bimel go back to the Dodger town and deal on his old team. There's Joe.
Yeah, and because of the weather, he couldn't throw at Harrisburg, so he threw here.
He's got the great reliever mullet going. I made famous in the 90s. Kidding.
Jeff Blum used to be a member of this organization. Montreal drafted him in the 7th round back in '94. He was with the Expos 99-01 before going to Houston, Tampa Bay, the Padres, the White Sox, back to San Diego, and then Houston last year where he hit .240. And I'm telling you, he and Mike Sweeney used to hit the heck out of the ball when they were kids. They played T-ball together at the age of 5. Out there in Redwood City, California. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hanrahan throws a good fastball. He couldn't catch up. And as Rob would be thinking right now, because you're starting to teach me about this stuff, you just saw a guy who was really late for your fastball. So
you better not throw him a breaking
don't
ball.
do him a breaking ball little slight piece favor here.
He's going to dive out of the press box.
Fastball up. He overpowers him and gets a pop-up. Guzman out.
Squeeze it.
That's a big out to get him going here in the 7th. Man, this pitching stuff's easy.
It's easy from up here.
Major League Baseball and People Magazine looking for individuals who made a difference in their towns. 30 everyday All-Stars to be honored at the 2009 All-Star Game in St. Louis. To nominate, go to peopleallstars.com. You know, I can think of a guy who's made a difference in a lot of lives, and I'm really sad that he's not here with the Astros, and that's our old friend Aaron Boone.
Yes.
We wish Aaron well on his continued recovery. I hope he and his family are feeling well enough to maybe be tuned in out in Scottsdale tonight. And if he is, we miss you, buddy, and look forward to seeing you, and hopefully sometime soon. Top of the order, Matsui. And if I know Aaron, it is driving him crazy not to be able to play baseball at this level for the 11th consecutive year. That's a breaking ball, locking up a hitter.
Well, if you're going to throw those on lefties, you throw them down and in or down and on their hands. And if Matsui even swings at this, he either cracks his bat in half or he hits a foul ball. And he knows he can't hit this.
If he throws a fastball now, it's going to look like 98. And he blows him away with it. 2 outs.
We're cooking.
You love talking about the bullpen lately, don't you?
Well, when we win big. When we lose, it's all awful. 40 walks and the batting average 282 against. But the walks, I think, hurt the most. You can't walk coming out of the pen.
In the games the Nationals have won, not one earned run. That's crazy. Here's Michael Bourne, 1 for 3. This would be a great batter to retire, because Lance Berkman, leading off the 8th, wouldn't be able to come close to tying this game. Joel is mixing his pitch as well. That's no swing, says Randy Marsh, the crew chief. And the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Hanrahan's overpowering people with that 90-plus heater tonight. That's the best inning he's thrown all year. And the Nationals are ahead 7-4, time to stretch. And Zimmerman is absolutely on fire. When he doesn't get a hit tonight, he walks in a run. Elijah Dukes, maybe a breakout night after he'd gone 6 for 33. And John Lannon, guess who could be the winner if the Nats hold on? John Lannon. You know, Rob, some nights you give up 4 runs on 9 hits and you get a W. Some nights you give up 2 runs on 5 hits and you get a no decision or a loss.
He's been a hard luck pitcher. Got 6 more outs to go on their side, but I'm not down with the quality starts, because if we win, that's a quality start. He went through 6, only gave up 4, gave us a chance to win.
And Guzman's bat is now coming alive. That's 2 consecutive hits for Christian.
I mean, a quality start to me is giving us an opportunity to win ball games. And this guy, he's didn't have his best stuff tonight. This is Christian Guzman right here. Pitch that was supposed to be outside, not low enough, and Exmo gets Matsui missing the ball.
Here's Nick Johnson. Nick's 0 for 2, but he's been on base with walks twice, scored a run last inning.
Matsui's mom's not going to be happy. He's all dirty. I gotta wash your uniform.
Yeah, but when he played for the Say Blue Lions, his uniform probably looked like that by 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
They had a lot of, like, the grass over here on our infield. They don't have grass on a lot of their infield.
A lot of dirt infields,
yeah.
right?
And when I went over there on a tour years ago, it's kind of strange to pitch on a field like that, but you get awful dirty quick on a field like that. Tonight's a fun night to play, though.
Nick Johnson scalding one, and then Guzman does a good job by staying home at first, avoiding a double play.
What kids don't like to play in the rain and the mud?
We're going to sleep fast and join you from the ballpark at noon tomorrow with Nats Extra. And then Roy Oswalt, a guy we respect greatly for the Astros, against Scott Olson, who got his first win last week, and now he'll try to make it 2-3. And then the Nats will hop on their plane and head for Los Angeles. 2 with the Dodgers, 3 in Arizona, 3 in San Francisco. And you'd like to, wouldn't you love to be coming off 3 in a row, going to LA as well as the Dodgers are playing at home? They're the only undefeated team at home in Major League Baseball. Zimmerman hits one out of play. 10-0. The next best record at home in baseball, the Boston Red Sox, 10-2 at Fenway Park. There are some 10-3 teams like St. Louis and Toronto.
Pitch it.
Zimmerman is not swinging at any bad pitches these days. His batting average is at .327. Guzman at first, 1 out, bottom 7. Nats lead 7-4. I mean, he's not even thinking about that. Players would call that spitting on pitches. When you're so locked in, you're not even thinking about biting on something out of the zone.
We'll give Rick Eckstein a lot of credit, though. Their approach, they're all different hitters, but he's got them up there with that approach of looking for a certain pitch that they can handle and then jumping all over it.
Counts even, 2-2.
Like Adam Dunn, who had a great at bat. There's Rick. Look at that. It's pretty good. 15-point increase in 1 year. Keep that for the entire season. Get up to about 270, 275 after we win this division.
2-2 to Ryan. Guzman running. Zimmerman, right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Guzman's going to score easily. Ryan Zimmerman is 4 for 4. And there is nobody in Major League Baseball locked in better than that guy right now. Second RBI of the night and his 18th of the season. Using the ballpark, Rob.
Magnum ZI, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Right there, fastball away. Check this out. Quick swing, quick hands, boom. Take that thing to right. Another run. Christian Guzman off and running. Picks up the third base coach. Pat Listash, you're going, keep going.
We're going to walk done here. Did you notice on that replay that as soon as Guzman heard the contact, he put his hand on his head because he was not watching the hitter. He was in a straight running situation.
You might want to pay attention next time.
Yeah.
That is a scary sound, too. If you've ever been on a baseball field and you're not watching the hitter and you hear the crack of the bat. I've seen some guys hit on the field. It's not pretty. It hurts. It smarts.
How about that 5-run inning in the 6th, and Rob, it came on only 3 hits.
Well, we've had some bad innings of our own this year, so it's nice to be on the offensive side of it. And we just kept coming, kept hitting singles, kept taking walks when we were given the walks. And we put a 5 spot up on the Astros.
The Nationals have scored 8 and stranded 10 already, so they've been all over the bases tonight. And here's Dukes, who has 2 consecutive RBI singles. And the first one came on a broken bat. So when you put the ball in play, good things happen. And then Guzman, of course, he was 2 for 21. And he just rolls a base hit through the right side of the infield. Now in this inning, he has another. So 2 slumbering bats have now started making some noise. And Elijah's been wonderful this year with runners in scoring position.
Come on, Big D.
A 1 pitch, and it's up and in from Jeff Fulcino, the 4th Houston pitcher. They have 3 pitchers who in the last half hour or more have registered 4 outs. Breaking ball by Dukes, base hit. Ryan Zimmerman around third. The Nationals lead 9-4. And the pitcher going home to back up, almost tripped up Ryan Zimmerman.
And he took a spill.
A nightmare for the Astros is a dream come true last 2 innings for the Nats. And now Elijah Dukes has 3 consecutive RBI hits.
Well, the weather is more like when you watch the Redskins play, but watch this right here. Elijah Dukes past the diving Matsui. Great job on the Exmo. And here's the play at the plate. Watch the pitcher backing up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't want that collision. And then Paulino goes down. Or no, it's Fulcino. Sorry. Fulcino goes down, but Garrett Mock.
Kearns now. He's 2 for 3 on base 3 times. Yeah, the length of this inning might be what causes Hanrahan not to pitch the 8th. Rob and I thought Manny might send him back out there, but this is going to be a long inning. And now that the Nats lead by 5, maybe you get another guy in inning. As long as Mock comes out and does the same thing Joel did. And that's use your heater and throw strikes.
Well, we had the off day yesterday with the rain out, so you know that our bullpen's rested. Need 6 more outs, but like you said, it's a quick turnaround. 12 hours, come right back out here and play another ball game. Right now, the Nats have to play every game like it's Game 7 of the World Series. We have to win this one and then worry about tomorrow.
Right. And just step on the other team's neck while you have a chance.
I couldn't have said it better, Bob. That's a good one.
No, it really it's been done to our ball club on a number of occasions where you put somebody away when you have the chance.
Listen, we dug this hole. We're down 6-17 coming into tonight. Now you got to win every game like it's your last game of the season. And if you don't win, you're not going to the playoffs. So that's what happens now.
Way inside to Kearns, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jesus Flores 1 for 4 with a double tonight. He's doing a good job of guiding 2 pitchers through this tough evening. 14 Washington hits.
Well, this is our first game out of the division in a month. It's kind of nice.
Well, other than St. Louis.
Other than St. Louis, excuse me, but we haven't seen these guys. They haven't seen us. Sure, they're not going to want to. They can't wait to get out of here.
Let's hope they feel that way tomorrow. Way inside, ball 3. Since the beginning of the 6th inning, the Astros have faced 15 Nationals and retired 4 of them. 3-2 to Kearns. And Fulcino throws it right by him for the second out. Let's check in with Debbie Taylor.
Well, Bob, John Lannon's in line for the win, and the Potomac Nationals invite you to join the party this summer. Come see where it all started for him and the rest of the future stars of your Washington Nationals at Fitzner Stadium, only 30 minutes away all season long. You can take advantage of Uncle Slam's stimulus package with nightly ticket and food specials, exciting promos, and great giveaways. And as always, the tickets start at only $8. For more information, go to PotomacNationals.com or call 703-590-2311.
Nationals today, Nationals tomorrow. Real baseball, real close. Jesus Flores 1 for 4. It's only 30 minutes away.
Debbie makes those hot dogs sound so good. I want one.
Good breaking ball. Did Jesus lay off? Well, the Nats have done a good disciplined job of, sounds funny, not hitting at times the last 2 innings. This is a very patient team that has a lot of guys who work the count. Fastball up and in. And I guess it's a tribute to that bat he has in his hands. You never see one like that anymore that's not a broken bat.
You don't see a guy today that gets jammed like that and doesn't walk back and get some new wood and a piece of lumber. Those bat companies have to be making a fortune.
If only we'd known. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Flores hanging tough. We've seen some good 2-strike hitting tonight.
Some great 2-out hitting.
Yep. Well, both
wasn't that whole rally in the 6th with 2 outs? Or close to it?
Most of it was with 1 out.
Right?
Most of it was with 1 out, but the 2 runs in the inning before were both after 2 outs.
Okay. Who started that? Zimmerman?
Yes, he did with that double. Flores, a swing and a foul tip. He's gone. But the Nats put 2 more on the board in the bottom of the 7th. It's 9-4 Washington. by West Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. And by Land Rover, designed for the extraordinary. The Jefferson Memorial beautifully reflected tonight. And this really bad weather has made us feel quite warm and quite excited about the way the Nats are playing tonight. Nats Extra presented by Verizon Fios. And Ray Nye will go right inside Ryan Zimmerman's continued dominance, brilliance, whatever you want to call it with the bat. The sixth inning was very kind. A couple of walks, a hit batter. A preview of Scott Olson, Roy Oswalt tomorrow. And rumor has it that Ray Knight has a bat in his hands right now and is trying to get into this game. Willie Harris is into this game. He will bat ninth and replace Adam Dunn in left. And the new pitcher will bat fourth, and that will be Garrett Mock. That's an ERA that needs to come down. And let's see about Garrett's most recent appearance. And you have to go all the way back to the sixth inning at Philadelphia last Wednesday night. In the Nationals' 4-1 win, Garrett pitched a scoreless inning and a third with a walk and a strikeout. After that horrible outing in the 13-11 loss 2 nights earlier. Lance Berkman leads off for Houston in the eighth. He's had another good night here in Washington. What else is new? Here's Garrett Mock going 2-0. A high strike.
No, you got a 5-run lead right here. Pound the strike zone with heaters. You know it's Berkman. Don't want to start anything with walking a few guys here.
Ball 3. Berkman, Leanne, Tejada. Houston's big 3 power guys here in the top of the eighth. And Berkman will fly to center. Right there is Elijah Dukes with a routine play, 1 out. Well done by Mock to battle from behind to get a very dangerous hitter.
Bob, it's still pretty wet out here. Check this out right here. Lance Berkman knocking off the mud a little bit, but gotta keep the bat dry. A little drizzly. That didn't help. He flew out to center.
Here's Carlos Lee, 2 for 3 with a double and a base hit off the third base bag. How about 3 for 4? That guy can hack. He has a 4-game hitting streak right now, and over those 4 games, he is 8 for 16.
The big caballo. Just a great kid.
He's another one of those guys like Jorge Cantu, who works a ranch. He owns and operates a cattle ranch in his native Panama. There's Russ Ortiz,
one of their starters,
who appeared to be heading for superstardom, what, 5-6 years ago?
Got derailed by some arm injuries.
Here's Tejada, 0 for 3, hit the ball sharply out to center last time. I guess he was destined to end up in Houston. In 04, he won the home run derby at Minute Maid Park. He hit 27 home runs, beating Lance Berkman, now his teammate, 5-4 in the final round.
And I was covering that for another network, and he cried. He was so proud of winning that he cried because he was representing his country, obviously. And it was a proud moment for him.
Let's see how many real homers he hit that year. 34. That's pretty good.
It wasn't like Bobby Abreu when he hit like a gazillion in Detroit.
Yeah, and then Sammy hit a whole bunch one year.
Sammy hit a ton in Atlanta.
And of course, Josh Hamilton was ridiculous last year until he ran out of gas.
McGuire after the All-Star break, though.
Yeah.
Abreu went to sleep. Yeah. In Philly, they traded him to New York. Yeah, McGuire, that was Fenway in '99 when Ted Williams.
You know what? He didn't hit those homers at Fenway. He hit them all out of Fenway.
Oh, it was.
I don't think any of them landed inside the ballpark.
Garrett Mock right here, last pitch, throwing some hard fastballs inside. Catches a break 3-0.
Pops him up. Nick Johnson coming in.
Nick.
He will call the catcher off. That's an easier play for the guy with the first baseman's mitt. And that's 2 outs here in the 8th.
He was running in. He was running out.
Come on down and join us tomorrow. We're going to throw first pitch. Scott Olson is at 12:35. You can call 888-632-NATS or go by nationals.com. Better yet, walk up to the ballpark tomorrow. Get off the Metro, come down Half Street. Join us for what we hope is a nice afternoon of baseball. It is T-Shirt Tuesday. Teddy Cinco de Mayo T-shirts for the first 10,000 fans tomorrow. Hunter Pence 0 for 2 with a walk. 0 for 3 if somebody can grab this one. It's Nick again. And Garrett Mock follows up Joe Hanrahan's fine 7th with a fine 8th of his own. It's all Nats by 5. .282 against it, but we know he's always there with the possibility of a low hit, low run game. And Scott Olson will be trying to make his record 2-3 as he takes the mound for the Nationals. We'll get you going at 12 noon with Ray and Johnny. Nats Extra. First pitch 12:35. Bottom 8. And here's that Anderson Hernandez guy leading off an inning again. He's had a good night with a base hit, 2 walks, a run, and RBI. Anderson's on base average now is over 400. You know, we pay so much attention, Rob, to the big guys and the run producers, but there is no mistaking how important this kid can be to this ball club, batting in the number 8 spot and getting on base as much as he has. And there's another one. He is now 13 for his last 26.
But I think once Rick Eckstein started working with him, chopping down on the ball, short, quick swings, make contact, use your speed. Look at that. Just a quick slap. Bang. Not trying to swing for the downs and hit home runs. That's his game right there. Don't try to change your game. Don't try to be Adam Dunn. That's Adam Dunn's game. he's been way more effective.
Here's Willie Harris, who came in to play defense, and he'll take one up and in.
Especially against this guy, this Fulchino guy's throwing low to mid 90s. You don't want to play with this guy. You just want to slap it the other way. He's supplying the power.
Yeah.
And I hated contact guys when I threw hard.
2-0. The Nationals have had 5 base runners tonight. Hernandez 4 times from the numbers 7 and 8 spots. And then if you throw in number 6 Austin Kearns, that's 3 more. So 8 times on base by the 6, 7, and 8 hitters tonight. And by the way, I would be remiss in letting this evening passing by without wishing a happy birthday to one of our favorite guys down in the clubhouse. Our buddy John Will is celebrating a birthday today. Had a nice cake for him before the game. His dad wrote a great baseball book years ago called Men at Work.
I think he's 37.
Oh, you told his age? Mm-hmm. He's going to come after you.
John likes me.
I know. John likes everybody, and everybody likes him. 2 on, nobody out as Willie Harris takes the walk. And the Nationals have been given 7 walks tonight. So here at the 10 o'clock hour, not a lot of our friends in attendance. The Nationals sold 14,115 tickets for tonight. But the folks that were brave enough to come out, they've witnessed quite an explosion by their Nats. Christian Guzman, well, he's been the leadoff guy, but he's the 3rd man up here in the 8th with 2 on. And he's had 2 consecutive hits. Long night for the Houston bullpen again. Their closer right now is LaTroy Hawkins. Jeff Geary, former Philly, in there. He was another part of that Lidge deal. Chris Sampson, another left-hander, Tim Burdick. And they are overworked and a little bit run down at the moment. Nick Johnson waiting. Guzman with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a final in Atlanta. The Mets beat the Braves tonight, who led early 3-0. Final their 6-4. Chipper Jones hit his 3rd homer of the year, but it was not enough. John Maine 2-2. K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez got his 6th save, and Javier Vazquez goes to 2-3 with the loss. Guzman with a comebacker. Pitcher to short, and a 1-6-3 double play, with Hernandez moving over to 3rd. And the Astros turned their league-leading 32nd double play of the year. Nick Johnson will be the hitter. Here's our TV schedule. A reminder, we will be Masson HD tomorrow, starting at 12 o'clock with the pregame show. 12:30 first pitch. On to LA. Masson 2. Dodgers, and then the weekend in Arizona. Dodgers are home with Arizona tonight. And if the D-backs can't hand them their first loss of the year at home, maybe the Nats can. Nick Johnson 0 for 3, but 2 walks tonight. So his on-base average will stay up over 400. And that's 2-1.
Nick, the only everyday player without a hit tonight. Surprising for Nick.
Well, that might be about to change. Marlins gave up 2 in the 7th to the Reds, and Florida has a couple guys aboard in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out, or else they're going to extra innings. By the way, the Phillies are hammering the Cardinals tonight. Ryan Howard and Jason Worth homers. They lead 6-1 at St. Louis. Nick Johnson called out on strikes. We are going to the top of the 9th. The Nationals lead by 5, 9-4. Of which Nationals having the best ball game. I think everybody knows Ryan Zimmerman's been amazing tonight. But Rob, Elijah Dukes has come alive. He was 9 for 33. Pardon me, 6 for 33. And now he has 3 consecutive RBI hits.
Just been hitting it where it's pitched up the middle. And a driving torrential downpour up the middle there. And then the last one, he went with it. Right by a diving Kaz Matsui. Great night for Elijah Dukes. 3 line drives in the box score tomorrow.
Why not?
No, we need that man to get going. More protection for Mr. Dunn.
And Garrett Mock, another inning of work to wrap things up. This would be nice. Whenever you have a day game after a night game, one of the first thing a manager is concerned about is the bullpen. How many guys do you have to use tonight? Who could be available tomorrow? And the fact that Hinckley, Rivera, Kensing, Wells, and Tavares may not have to pitch tonight puts the Nats in a dominant position over the Astros, whose bullpen is a little worn out for that day game tomorrow. And here's Darren Erstad hitting for the pitcher. There was a time several years ago with the Angels when this guy was one of the best players in the American League in a lot of different ways, not just the offense, but great defensively. But, you know, Robbie went crashing into a lot of fences and walls over the years.
Yes, he did. Tough as nails kid. Pretty sure he was a punter at Nebraska.
He was.
Division I football. But as Bob said, he dove into walls, dove for balls, just like Hunter Pence. He's all in, he's all out all the time. One of my favorite players for many, many years.
Offensive totals impressive for the Nats tonight. They stranded 13 runners but drove in 9 and collected 15 hits. J.R. Tolles, the catcher, 1 for 3. He was a late sub for the scratched Ivan Rodriguez, who you would think would be back in there to catch Roy Oswalt tomorrow.
Now, here's a great statistic coming into this inning. We've only thrown 120 pitches coming out here with Garrett Mock. They've thrown 181.
Wow.
We're trying to wear down that bullpen. It's very nice. I like that step on their neck when you have them down.
Well, I didn't mean to sound,
no, but that's
mean about it.
If it was an MMA fight, by the way, Jose Canseco taking on a 7-3. Where is he from? Korea?
Oh my!
He's a Korean MMA fighter over in Japan.
Please tell me that's not pay-per-view.
It is true. I hope it's pay-per-view. I play softball with Jose. I want to make sure he comes home alive.
Yeah.
7'3" guy.
Oh my!
From baseball to MMA. I think it was Visikahema knocked him out in about 39 seconds. Then he couldn't knock out Danny Bonaducci.
Well, you just don't knock out Danny Bonaducci.
No, absolutely not.
And there's a strikeout for Garrett Mock. That'll be his first. And he gets J.R. Tolles. And Jeff Blum will be the final hope of the Astros here.
JR doesn't like this breaking ball right there, but the umpire does. 79, right in the middle of the pitch track.
Blum popped to short after coming into the ball game to play third base in the 6th inning.
And it's interesting, he hit that huge extra inning World Series home run for the White Sox against the Astros
that's right.
to win it. I was there. It's amazing. It's like nobody wanted to win that game. Jeff Blum stepped up there in about the 12th or 13th inning and whammo down the right field line.
Game 3, 14th inning.
There you go.
The Astros' one and only World Series appearance in their history. And there's a pop-up. And how nice was this game for the Nationals tonight? It takes 3 hours and 6 minutes to do it. And Washington wins it with a ton of offense. 9-4, giving up 10 hits, but collecting 15.